Hey folks, JD here, and today we're going to be looking at two quadcopters, in particular the Yuneec Breeze 4K and the DJI Spark. Now it's worth noting before we go any further that these are two quadcopters in two different brackets. If you like to group things in brackets, then no doubt you're going to notice that the Yuneec Breeze is marketed as a selfie quadcopter and the DJI Spark is more of an entry-level videography and photography platform. So let's start off anyway with the Breeze and see where we go. So it comes in at 388 grams, a little lighter than the Spark. Takeoff is very easy. There's no delay on takeoff. As soon as you slide that bar to take off, it just rips up into the air at a speed of knots and then stays at about 6 or 7 foot, where then you can then take control with the transmitter and fly it away. The transmitter is the GameSeer Yuneec transmitter. It is the official one. And it was a little bit of a pain to first start up and first bind, but then once I'd been through the first bind procedure, every other time I've tried to use it, it has been fine and there'd been no problems. Now, this isn't a range copter, so you can't really take it out for a lot of range. I've managed about 50 meters, but then I had to came back as total LOS because I had no FPV relay because of the distance and the lack of Wi-Fi signal. But what I did find in doing that is as soon as it came back into range, the FPV display refreshed itself and I started again to see the live video stream. Now, video quality. Now, this particular quadcopter allows you to film in 3 separate modes: 4K, 1080p and 720. 720 is at 60 frames a second, 1080 and 4K is at 30 frames a second. I find the video quality very good. I think the 4K is excellent, really does stand out, really does show the depth and quality of the objects you're looking at. But I do find that maybe the colour is a little bit off. I do find it to be, maybe I can just play with the settings, but the first few flights I have found that it is a little bit strange. It's not, even though you've got the quality there, you don't have the colour. And that's something that I really look for. The plus point of this is that you don't need to mess around with SD cards. You just have a 16 gigabyte onboard storage on the Yuneec, which records directly to there. It's same as taking photos, all goes onto that internal storage, means it's very, very easy. Now, when you come to take off your videos and your photos, you've got a couple of options. One of them is to plug the quadcopter directly into your computer. The storage will mount itself. You can then drag off everything that you want and then unmount the storage at the end of the day when you've finished, or you can download everything at full resolution or a minimal resolution directly to your phone. This way does take a long time. I would most certainly plug in the quadcopter to your computer and take them off that way. Now, you can also fly the Breeze on Wi-Fi. So when I did that, I found that it was very easy to fly. I found that it actually did, the speed wasn't, I actually found that it was still extremely fast. Normally on Wi-Fi you get a lot more sluggish, slow response. Didn't have that at all with the Yuneec. It was still very, very quick, very responsive, and it wanted to chew up distance. Fortunately, and obviously you can't do that on Wi-Fi, otherwise you'll just disconnect. There are fail-safes in order to bring the quadcopter back as well, should that happen. A couple of features. There's a load of features on this, especially when you use Wi-Fi. You've got pilot mode, which is normal mode. You've got orbit, follow me, smart follow me as well. There's loads of different options in this should you want to get a different sort of video from there. As soon as you start any of these features, video automatically records onto the internal storage anyway. Okay, so now let's come on to the Spark. So the Spark comes in at over 400 grams. It's a little bit heavier than the Yuneec, but I do find that its build quality is a lot better than the Yuneec Breeze. It feels a lot more sturdy, like a lot more time and effort has gone into it. Battery life is a little bit longer after you use the battery for a while, coming in at about 13 minutes, an extra minute or 2 more than the Yuneec. On takeoff using the transmitter, it's so simple. I found that even on distance flights, and I've taken it out best part of 600 to 700 meters, and I've still found that I've had video relay. Your phone connects directly to the transmitter then relays the signal directly to the quadcopter, and you find that you do get a very good sturdy signal. Now, What I have found as well is with firmware updates on the Spark, they tend to happen a lot more frequently than on the Yuneec, and also they tend to have a rollback option should something go wrong. So you're not going to just brick your quadcopter. Control is extremely easy. You have a sport mode which really fully unleashes those brushless motors and really gets these things flying. And I tell you what, once you put into sport mode, you're not going to want to take it out. But be warned, your battery life will deplete a lot quicker in sport mode as you are using up the full potential of those motors, or just under the full potential of those motors. Now, another plus point for the Spark that the Yuneec doesn't have is the Spark has a gimbal. So when you are flying, when you're turning corners, banking, using your unroll, whichever your preferred method is, you will find that your video stays nice and solid, nice and still, and you can focus. You don't have that wash either side of your video rolling with you. That is a big plus point for the Spark. Also, I find the Spark to be a little bit more portable because it's a bit smaller than the Yuneec. I find that the camera quality is good output video at 1080p. You can also record in 720 as well should you want to. I do find that the color correction is a lot better on the Spark. The quality is a lot better on the Yuneec, but then again you have got a much higher quality of video output from the Yuneec being at 4K. I do find that DJI's automatic colour correction is a lot better than Yuneec's, and it does give you proper colour, proper nice green for grass, proper blue for skies, and it just looks a little bit more pleasing, I think, personally. That's just me. Now, when you use the Spark on a smart device, just purely on Wi-Fi, it feels quite sluggish. It has got great features, but still at the same time it feels like you really are having to try and pilot this, and it just doesn't want to be. There's also, obviously, as you would expect, a lack of control distance also coming off the Wi-Fi there. All in all, I think both quadcopters are very, very good. Personally, I would side with the Spark over the Yuneec. That's purely just down to preference. But if you didn't want to shell out for the Spark, and if you could get the Breeze at a cheaper price, I would say drop everything and go for it. It's a very good quad. Optical flow system works very well. It is a very, very good copter. It does take a little while to learn, as it has got a couple of little things. It relies on GPS, and it relies on your skill to fly, not just GPS. And I personally like that. I think you have to learn skills about flying before you hand over to a computer aided flight. And I personally think that the more you use quadcopters with less technology, the better of a pilot you will become. That being said, Yuneec is excellent. The Spark is excellent. Choose whichever one you prefer. I prefer the Spark, but if you are going for video quality, you may want to look at the Yuneec. Alright then, folks, tell me what you think in the comments. Which preferred quadcopter you have, whether it be the Yuneec or whether it be the Spark, and tell me why. I'm quite interested to find out. Okay then, my friends, thank you ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.